It is our responsibility to glean the truth from a lost letter. And tomorrow, because we have done our work well, that truth will be delivered to Mr. Riggs a year late or, hopefully, right on time. But it's not up to us anymore.
Oliver, please.
Norman? Where's Oliver?
On the floor?
I was just on the floor. He's not there.
On the floor somewhere else, maybe?
Get those processed before the decade's out, will ya? Hey, Fancy Pants. The transfer you put in for, it's gonna take 10 weeks.
10 weeks. Oh, I can't believe this.
Hey, you remember that surprise that I was telling you about?
The last 24 hours has been nothing but surprises, but please, go on.
Well, I knew that I had seen your name somewhere, and it was on a letter, a dead letter that was entered into the system 14 months ago on April 28th, which is 2 days before your birthday.
How did you know that?
Because I read your file, remember? So it's gotta be a birthday card.
Where is it?
I mailed it to you.
You mailed it. I work here. You could have just handed it to me.
Standard procedure, Miss McInerney.
Procedure, right. It was my birthday card from... Who was it from?
A return address obscured.
So where did you mail it?
To here, care of Dead Letters.
You people are crazy.
A popular theory? Coffee?
Your coffee is swill, and I'm wasting my time here.
The coffee, I grant you, needs improvement, but I take exception to the idea that your time here is wasted.
My time, my career, my life.
I understand you're upset.
I'm upset. You think? You see if you can understand this. I quit.
Shane! Come back, Shane! Oh, dear. Well, there it is. I believe I've accrued a bit of vacation time.
13 weeks, 6 days.
I may take a few minutes of those now.
Oh, that is so sweet.
What?
He's going after her.
Going after her what?
Really?
Gave you 15 minutes to walk to the park, factored in another 10 for aimless wandering, which gave me 25 minutes to order your skinny vanilla latte and deliver it still hot by the time you showed up.
And you think I am that predictable,
No, I think you're that invested in your work. And an employee with that much commitment should not be allowed to self-terminate or drink substandard swill, for that matter.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Shouldn't be long now. Mailman's around the corner.
Just think, in 5 minutes, he could be opening up a letter and finding out that he has a date on Friday with the love of his life.
Perhaps he has since met a waitress from Olive Garden and is expecting twins and taken up work as a grouter of bathroom tile.
No, not a chance. Not our Charlie.
Oh.
There it is.
Again, civilization prevails.
Wait, what? Don't you want to see him open it?
Who is that? Wait,
What is she doing?
what is she doing? What is she doing?
Excuse me?
Miss Mac,
Excuse me? Hi. Ma'am? Excuse me? Hello. I am from the United States Postal Service. I'm a direct line operations systems consultant, and I am conducting a mail investigation.
I don't get it.
You just removed that envelope from the mailbox.
So? You don't have to make a federal case out of it.
Actually, mail theft is a federal case, ma'am.
I'm not stealing it. I'm returning it. Charlie Riggs has been gone for a year, and I don't think he's coming back.
I'm going to have to confiscate this.
Confiscate away, honey.
Thank you.
what? What are you doing with that letter? You can't just...
Read it.
What do you mean he's in jail?
I mean, his neighbor wrote not at this address in jail on the envelope.
You intercepted the letter at the point of delivery?
Yep.
Although 25 minutes earlier, she had tendered her resignation, so technically she had yet to be reinstated as a government servant.
Sheer luck I was there in time to intercept it.
Luck is the religion of the lazy.
Guess what? I found it. I stopped it just in time. Your card.
It's from your dad, right? The handwriting's male. Late 40s, early 50s. Aren't you gonna open it?
Maybe later. Find Charlie Riggs first.
Charlie. Kelly's Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie in jail for something, Charlie. Knew there was something fishy about that guy.
I'm Googling.
But Charlie Riggs is such a nice name.
Oh my God.
What?
Do you remember the baker, Roger Piperson, who won the lottery?
Be the luckiest man in the world.
Roger Piperson was murdered by a man named Charlie Riggs. It's impossible.
Wait, I remember. I read an article about the baker in Park Hill. He was gonna give away all of his lottery money to an orphanage in Loretta Heights where he grew up. They said that he was a real self-made man. He used to give cookies to the kids every day after school. But then Charlie.
Not Charlie.
Right, somebody went into the bakery, shot the baker, and
And what?
I stopped reading. It was just too sad.
Oh, I don't believe it. It's not our Charlie.
He's not our Charlie. And if it's true, then perhaps Kelly made the right decision when she decided to walk away.
I can't believe you just said that.
I know you want these two to be happy.
Oh, wait, here it is.
Detective Arthur Kimsey of the Criminal Investigation Unit said it was the shortest murder investigation in his 12 years on the force.
We just went to his house and waited for him to come home.
According to Detective Kimsey, Riggs was easily apprehended because he not only matched the description of the alleged gunman, but also because in his haste to escape the scene, he dropped his wallet and identification behind.
Oh, no. It is our Charlie.
He's not bad looking.
Riggs was taken into custody and charged with second-degree murder during the commission of an armed robbery. He's pleaded not guilty and remains incarcerated without bail and is awaiting trial.
Well, there it is.
Kelly didn't say anything in her letter about him being clumsy.
Or homicidal.
Wait, what day was that?
Last year. I think this month.
Oh, wow. Oliver, it happened a year ago on the 26th.
I need a yoo-hoo.
What's going on?
Norman, don't you get it? Charlie was with Kelly that day, all day, and he dropped his wallet, so whoever picked it up probably shot the baker.
He's a lot taller than I thought he would be.
I was in jail once. I was visiting a cousin who was doing 10 days in Quartzville, Arizona for tipping cows.
Norman, please stop talking, and I mean it from the very bottom of my heart, okay?
Riggs faces life and lottery winner shooting.
Oh my gosh, he goes to trial next week.
What are we gonna do?
We're going to readdress the letter to Charlie, care of the county jail.
That's it? He needs our help.
Well, clearly he needs someone's help, like his lawyer, for example, but the U.S. Postal System's not in the habit of defending murderers.
He's not a murderer.
That's right, and we know that, so we need to do something.
Well, the truth is we don't know anything beyond what's in the letter.
Voila.
What is this?
This is Jerry Polovich, Charlie's public defender, and he happens to be on a dating website. Jerry Polovich, age 47, education, degree in law from the North Denver Valley College. Religion, none. Languages, what's wrong with English? Status, divorce, well, there's no surprise there, is there? Likes, golf, cooking, golf, eating, golf, barbecuing, golf, and anything from the Mile High Deli. Life's ambition to quit the law and buy the Bunker Shot Grill at the Pine Cobble Country Club.
That's enough Googling, Miss McInerney. I'm calling the receptionist so I can set up a meeting to sit down face to face.
Polovich!
Jerry Polovich? Jerry Polovich Esquire?
If personal injury is your plan, Polovich is your man.
I will keep that in mind, sir, but I'm not calling to solicit your services. Calling from the main post office down to...
Oh, great, you found him.
I don't know how you guys can manage to lose 60 pounds of mail order steak on dry ice.
The United States Post Office does not lose things, sir.
Look, if you don't want to sue anybody, you don't got my steak, what do you want?
Well, I'm calling with information about the man who allegedly killed Roger Piperson.
Who?
Charles Riggs.
You are his public defender, are you not?
Charles Riggs. Well, then who's Roger Piperson?
The baker who was unfortunately dispatched last year.
Oh, right. Piperson Bakery.
Oh, I love that bakery. I haven't had a decent bear claw since. What about him?
Well, I have proof. A letter detailing Charles Riggs' activity the day the baker was dispatched, which proves his innocence in
Look, pal, anybody can write a letter. Do you got any pictures, video?
No.
Well, that's what I'm gonna need.
You get me my visuals and my 60 pounds of steak, then we'll talk.
You still want to do nothing, Oliver? You want to leave it up to the crack legal mind of a man who buys his meat through the mail?
No, of course not, but we have no alternative.
Wrong. The other day, you said that we are responsible for what little truth we have. Well, the truth is, Charlie Riggs is innocent, and we can prove it.
Possibly.
Possibly, probably. And we have a moral obligation to at least try.
What are you proposing?
We know Polovich won't do anything with the letter, right? But if we deliver the letter to Charlie in person, maybe he can tell us something that we can do to help him. Charlie needs this letter. He needs to keep that date with Kelly. And he needs a friend. I know it's risky, but sometimes you just have to take the leap.
It's a compelling proposition.
Look, with my computer skills, Rita's memory, your genius as a postal detective, and Norman's expertise at so many things. Think of us as a covert division of postal intelligence.
Like secret agents. I once applied to the CIA.
Me too. I didn't get in.
There's also the problem of Andrea. Of course, she'll want to know what we're up to.
Well, we simply tell her that we are fact gathering to ensure the delivery of letters that require special handling.
Confiscate my refrigerator.
We'll be flying under the radar.
Postal intelligence. I suppose we are that already.
Except now we would have, well, we would have a license to.
To deliver.
Yes, a license to deliver.
All right, let's do final checks. Trench coat.
Check.
Laptop.
Check.
Gas in the Jag.
Check.
We're taking that.
B12 extra, yes.
Nobody who works for the government drives a car like that except James Bond.
Take that as a compliment.
Oh, she's coming! Go, go.
Where's Oliver?
Good morning, Andrea.
Norman? What in the name of Paul Revere are you doing?
Sorting, forwarding, the usual.
Tell Oliver I want him in the department meeting, pronto.
Oh, Oliver actually went home. He got a hold of a bad piece of fish last night.
Then send that other one.
Well, that could be a problem. Same dinner.
Same fish.
I want one of them in that department meeting, and nobody goes home sick unless I send them home sick.
When she was Miss Special Delivery, she sang Climb Every Mountain for her talent section.
Life can take a toll on a woman without love, Norman.
Hi there. We have an attorney-client consultation with prisoner Charles Riggs.
ID?
Yes. Here you are.
I don't see your names on today's list.
Oh. What list is that?
Client counselor appointment roster.
Ah, the client counsel appointment roster. I put our names on that yesterday.
You'd have done that last Thursday.
That's what I meant. I put our names on that on Thursday for today.
Thursday. That was a lovely day, wasn't it?
Gorgeous.
Virtually cloudless.
Beautiful. Yeah, would you mind checking again?
Okay, there you are, but I don't see you as the attorney of record.
Oh, you are, of course, referring to Jerry Polovich. Fine fellow. Always been pleased with his work. Sadly, however, he was placed on administrative leave for inhaling a few too many mile-high pastrami platters.
I understand, I understand. Well, Jerry does like his deli, that's for sure.
Yes, he does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I know you?
No, Charlie, you don't. But we're here to help you.
Finally. You're from the State Legal Assistance Office, right?
Actually, we're from the U.S. Post Office.
I knew something was wrong. I knew she would have come forward if she could have. Everybody thought I made her up. Now I've got proof.
Only proof that she loved you, I'm afraid.
And I'm afraid you can't prove anything else about that day without her and the pictures she took.
All you need is one photo with Callie from that day. Maybe one with the bloodmobile that only happens once
a year in the park, that'd be perfect.
And then on the 26th,
On the 26th, I'll still be here.
then we'll go for you. We'll keep that date on the bridge. We'll meet Kelly and we'll get the pictures and we'll let you know as soon as we get them.
I just want to know she's okay. I wish I knew what was wrong with her.
We could make some discreet inquiries. Is there anything else you can tell us about her that wasn't in that letter?
I remember when she got on the elevator, she had these beautiful eyes.
Charlie, do you remember what floor she got on in the elevator?
I think it was the 3rd floor.
And that was the Colorado Bank building, right?
Yeah, I think why?
Just give me a second. Okay, here it is. Suite 305, Western States Research Systems, a state-of-the-art medical research company specializing in the experimental treatment of blood-related disorders, specifically Hodgkin's disease.
Oh my God.
Check to see if any patients named Kelly participated in an experimental treatment last year.
I'm on it.
I tried to look her up online, but I even looked for a Charlie and Kelly website.
Okay, I'm in. June 26th last year, they finalized their control group of 40 patients with stage 3B Hodgkin's lymphoma and started double-blind trials the next day. So they used only first names. Jack, age 30, Jason, age 29, Kelly, age 23. That's got to be her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how she's doing.
What's the matter?
The 6-month clinical trial commencing June 27 failed to produce positive outcomes in 100% of subjects. As of this date, no patients survived treatment.
I don't know what that means.
Charlie. Means she's gone.
I'm so sorry, Charlie.
What are we gonna do now?
The pictures have to be out there somewhere.
We didn't try hard enough. We could have.
No, we tried, we did our best. Now we have to do what we know how to do and let Charlie grieve for Kelly.
Fight for his life.
Gotten over the bad fish, I see.
Yeah. It's a miracle.
Forgive me for not keeping you in the loop, Andrea.
Yeah, I really missed being in your loop. Too bad you weren't in mine. You didn't go to the meeting.
And I regret that. It won't happen again.
You're darn right it won't happen again, because there ain't gonna be another department meeting, ever.
Beg your pardon?
They're shutting the place down. Yeah, this lousy, smelly office is, what did they say, lost its viability.
The dead letter office is dead?
This time next month, you all will be selling stamps and sorting catalogs in Pueblo. You wanted a transfer? You're gonna get one, Missy. How's that for being in the loop?
Today was a very bad day.
Huh? Thought we were a pretty good team, holding down the fort.
Hey, Norman, do you want to dance?
Could we play shuffleboard instead?
Okay.